Hello children, welcome once again to your English literature class. I hope all of you are keeping in good health and taking good care of yourselves. So as you can see on the screen, you can see the picture of a river. So today we are going to read the poem The River written by Valerie Bloom. Now Valerie Bloom is a very famous writer. Okay, she's written wonderful poems. There are about 200 anthologies. It's written in your book. 200 anthology. Now what is an anthology? Anthology is a collection of poems. So she's written a lot of poems. So today we will read the poem The River written by Valerie. Okay, so get ready with your books on page number 122. Now see, as it is written, a river journeys from the mountains to the plains. In this poem, the poet describes the river as if it is a person who does different things and has many different moods. So if you remember, in our previous poem also, we have read about this. I hope you can recollect. We had learned about appreciation of the poem and we had read about personification. So those who can recollect, the poem Sunday, the days of the week were spoken of as people, isn't it? I had told you Sunday is personified. Sunday runs away fast. Sunday is very fast and the other days are trudging as if they are human beings. Now in this poem also the same tool has been used. This poem is also a form of personification. In this poem, the poet treats the river as a person. Now in your SST books, you all must have studied. In your science classes, you must have read about poems, and generally most of the rivers, they rise from mountains, from snow-clad mountains, mountains full of snow, no? And these rivers, they have water throughout. So a river journeys from the mountains and then it comes down to the plains. So we all know when a child is very small, no, he is bubbling with energy. He has lot of energy. When you are small, you can run too much, no, and even in your younger years, okay, youth is full of energy. But as we grow old, people become old, their speed slows down. We become sluggish, we become slow. And the same is the case with the river. When it comes out from the mountain, it is full of energy. But then we will see its journey. In this poem, we are going to read about its journey from the mountains to the plains. Okay, so you will listen to the poem very carefully and read it with correct pronunciation. Fine. The river's a wanderer. River, it is written capital R, that is personifying, okay? A nomad, a tramp. She doesn't choose one place to set up her camp. The river's a winder. Through valley and hill, she twists and turns, she just cannot be still. The river's a hoarder, and she buries down deep all those little treasures she wants to keep. So in the first paragraph, the poet tells us the river's a wanderer. You know who's a wanderer, no? A nomad. Who is a nomad? A person who moves from one place to another. You have read about nomads in your SST classes. A nomad is one who moves from one place to another in search of food or shelter. Similarly, a tramp is also a person who has no home, no job, and he keeps moving from place to place. So first the poet tells us that the river is a wanderer. It's a nomad, a tramp. She doesn't choose one place. You cannot imagine, no? A lake is in one place, but the river keeps flowing. It does not stay in one place. Okay, so the poet says that the river is a wanderer because it does not choose one place to set up her camp. Like we make one house and you stay there, no? You set up your camp, you stay in that house. But the river does not set up its camp. It does not stay in one place. It keeps moving and moving. It does not remain stagnant. The river is a winder through valley and hill. The river does not go straight like a road. No, it's a winder. Through valley and hill, she twists and she turns. She just cannot be still. It's going round and round. No, it has all twists and turns hither and thither. It does not move in a straight line. The river is a hoarder. and she buries down deep all those little treasures she wants to keep. You know who is a hoarder? A hoarder is a person who collects things and keeps. You must have heard the word hoarding. She is hoarding all her goods. She is hoarding all her old clothes. Hoarding means collecting and keeping in one place. So the poet says that the river is a hoarder. You know what happens actually? When the river comes down from the mountain, it has a lot of speed, no? So all the mountains and all the boulders, no? All rock material coming down with the river. And when it comes down towards the plain, all these things, they are collected. So the river is a hoarder. She buries down deep all those little treasures. All the little treasures she wants to keep. The ones, the small precious things that she wants to keep, she is collecting and keeping. So one more thing, children, I hope you have noticed. See, the poet is comparing the river to different things. Once he is telling the river is a wanderer. Then she tells the river is a nomad. The river is a tramp. Okay, the river is a hoarder. So along with personification, just try to relate what else have you learnt this year. We have learnt about metaphors and similes, if you remember in the poem Lullaby. So the poet is also using metaphors here. Okay, I hope you can recollect. You should be able to relate, when you are learning something. So I hope these 3 paragraphs are clear. We'll proceed now. The river's a baby. She gurgles and hums and sounds like she's happily sucking her thumbs. So the river is a baby. A small child, gurgles. The child, when it is laughing, the child is very happy. It makes that gurgling sound. So the river, like a baby, it is gurgling and humming, and it's very happily, like a small baby sucking the thumbs is very happy as he or she is gurgling. Same way the river is also behaving like a baby and making gurgling sounds. The river's a singer. As she dances along, the countryside echoes the notes of her song. So the river is a singer. Okay. Because it has music, it has rhythm when it is moving. So the river is a singer. As she dances along, the countryside echoes. You know the meaning of echo? You must have, if you have not experienced, you must have watched in your movies, a person is screaming out, calling out loud, and your voice, it reflects the reflection of the voice, that is echo. So when the river is making all those beautiful sounds, the countryside, that means the valleys, the voice is echoing the notes of the song of the river. Okay, so I hope this much is very clear for you. If you see carefully, you will see that the second and the fourth line have rhyming words. The first and third do not have rhyming words. You must have seen, I have given some number, the alphabets are written. So that is the rhyme scheme of the poem, okay? So probably in one session I will explain you completely about the rhyme scheme. We'll put all the poems together. So I hope the poem is clear for you. So it is basically about the river, the life of the river, how it is wandering and roaming around and collecting things and keeping, singing and making lovely noises. Okay. So you will all get ready with your pencils in your hand, because I will be doing a small, just a gist in your textbook itself. You will turn to page number 123. Read the table headings and write at least 5 words in each table. So those who were listening to the poem carefully, I know you will be able to do it on your own itself. Isn't it? Rhyming words pairs from the poem. As I already told you, the second and the fourth line, you can see tramp camp. I have also written there, so you can see on your screen, tramp camp. That is a rhyming pair. From the second paragraph you have hill still. Hill still. From the third paragraph we have deep keep. Fourth paragraph, hums thumbs. We don't say thumb, no? We say thumbs. B is silent. Hums thumbs. And the last paragraph, a long song. I hope all of you have written the rhyming words. Now see the next column. So they have given you here metaphors used to describe the poem. You all know metaphors are comparisons. We don't use as and like. So the river is, what are the different names given to the river? The river is a wanderer. You can write down, or you can underline in your poem also. Nomad. At least 5 words. I have written more than 5. At least 5 you should be able to. I know most of you will be able to do on your own if you have been watching all the videos very sincerely. Tramp, winder, hoarder, baby, and singer. There are 7. You can write any 5. Okay. So I hope it's clear with you. You don't have any problem with the poem. So in the next session, we shall proceed with the question answers and the appreciation of the poem. Till then, children, read your poem very nicely, very carefully, and try to pay special attention to the pronunciation of the poem. Okay. So take care of yourselves and see you soon in the next session. Thank you.